Here we have the new 2025 Lexus GX 550. This one has a Premium Plus package. Comes in atomic silver, black leather interior. Powertrain consists of a 3.4 liter twin turbo V6 engine, made it to an 8-speed automatic, or excuse me, a 10-speed automatic transmission. Now, as we come around to the front end here, we do get our LED headlamps along with our LED daytime running lights and LED fog lights. And I just really like how they did the design here for the GX 550 particularly. It's just a very subtle but beautiful looking vehicle here. Down here to the wheels, these are going to be 20-inch alloy. Passive keyless entry on all 4 doors. And then to the door panel here, we do get our power folding side mirrors. You can set those to auto as well. They do have blind spot monitors, power door locks, power mirrors. And then we do have one-touch up and down windows on all 4 doors. Rear window lock there. There's a door panel. Memory seat functions are here, trip meter, lift gate, etc. Fuel door release, hood release. There are the pedals there, and then we do get a power tilt telescoping steering wheel. But here's our power driver's seat with 2-way power lumbar support. And I want to give a huge thanks to Auto Collection of Murfreesboro and Auto Pro Nashville for allowing me to review this GX 550 today. I'll leave a link below in the description. But if you're looking to find the best price on one of these closer to home and you want a new vehicle, click on that second link down below. It takes just a minute to fill out your information. I'll make sure the local dealers are fighting to get you the best price on this or whatever new vehicle you might be interested in. But I have the seat up front adjusted for someone of my size, being 6'3" with longer legs. So that's my space there. Now this is a 3-row SUV. Rear AC controls are back there. And then you also have 2 USB-C ports for charging. Seat back pockets both sides. Now I will say, I could probably adjust that seat a little bit better, but it's a tighter squeeze than I would like in the back of this, but for it to be a Lexus, I'm not surprised. Beautiful front interior there though. I'll show you that after a while. The middle seat folds down, bottle holders are there. I like the buttons for the lights up here, and they are very bright, very pretty. Now your rear AC vents are actually in the roof line there, so I like that. 3rd row as well. And then speaking of the 3rd row, let's see if we can get back there. Now your child locks are manual on either side, so you can lock, unlock there. And to get back here, we have buttons for the 3rd row that you can adjust from back here, which is interesting, but okay. And then actually get to the 2nd row is not as easy as you would expect. But there is the 3rd row itself, just 2 seats back there. And as you can see, the spaces, it's a tad limited, but nothing terrible. And then you do have a control here to actually lean the seat forward and back in the 3rd row. And a USB-C port on that side. Now I'm thinking there's something in the back, and that's why it's not wanting to move. So we'll check that out here in a minute. Now, as we come around to the rear end here, I really like that. It kind of reminds me of the Sequoia almost. Love having that light bar there. The rear sensors integrated in that bumper, and then you have the spare tire there, the exhaust. You can either open the glass or the entire lift gate itself. But yeah, that's why I wasn't wanting to move there. But it will fold when the seat's up far enough. But you can see here that you also get that USB-C port and adjustability on the right side. Excuse me. So interesting setup here. It's okay, I guess. It's just kind of weird that you can only tumble the seat from the behind the 2nd row there, but okay. A 120-volt 3-prong household plug-in there. Now let's see if I can figure this out and just make sure I'm not just dumb. I'm trying to get to this 2nd row seat. They have instructions there, but I don't see a latch of any sort anywhere but on the back of the seat. So you'd have to do that. Okay, so that's how you tumble it there. Or you can just do it from back here. But yeah, it's just, I mean, it's all right, I guess. The issue comes in when the seats are up too far though. So you really have to adjust these seats to make them work for you, but this isn't the biggest Lexus you can get, so it's just kind of, it just kind of has a third row there to have it there. And of course you can just fold that flat in the back if you just want to use it as a trunk space, which is how I would use it. That cargo rack being in the way though just kind of makes it harder to show. But to the front passenger seat here, power with 2-way power lumbar support. Like the top pocket up here. And then we have a lockable glove compartment down here with the owner's manuals. And I really like the mirrors here. I'm gonna see if I can show off those turn signals. But there's a look at the window sticker from Auto Collection here. As we come back around to the front, again, a 3.4 liter twin turbocharged V6 underneath all of that. I'm gonna show off these blinkers. I like that look in the mirrors. Would have liked them to be a little bit bigger on the front, but no big deal. Let's go ahead and hop in the driver's seat. Leather wrap steering wheel here. And I really like the design and how nice the wheel feels. Now over to the screen, I really like how they did this design. Again, because it's an LED screen, my camera's picking it up like that, so it's flashing, but graphics here are great. You get the navigation system here. Your audio source is right in here. And then a lot of your settings here, like in the new Toyotas. It's a very simplistic design here. But it's also, there's a lot going on, if that makes sense. Backup cameras here, guidelines follow you, just turn the steering wheel, you get the bird's eye view as well. And then you have the option to use the washers for the camera and the rear wiper. So it's nice to have a button built in there. Down here we do get our dual zone automatic climate control, so we can set that with the knobs here. Fan speed can be adjusted here. We can drag this fan back and forth. Auto modes there. You get 2 stages for the heated steering wheel and then 3 stages for the heated and cooled seats for the front. You can sync, unsync there, pull up the rear climate. So it's actually, once you get used to it, very good system here in my opinion. Now up here you can look at your frequently used or your comfort and convenience options here. So the lane departure system, the blind spot monitor, the heads up display right there. And then you have your options you can kind of scroll through as well. But again, I like how they did this because it's so easy to use without being kind of ugly, if that makes sense. I really like this system compared to the Toyota system in terms of just how nice the controls look, but also how user-friendly it is. Hazards button there. You get 2 USB-C ports there. This one is what actually can run on the radio, and then this one's just for charging. Your drive modes are here, so you get your sport, normal, and eco. And then you have your electronically controlled transmission there. You can set that. And then traction control, tow haul mode. And then you have a 12-volt hidden right in there. Now over here, bottle holders. And then for the shifter, hit the side button, reverse, neutral drive, manual. And you can either shift from the shifter or the paddle shifter behind the steering wheel. And this isn't a limiter, this is like a true manual mode. Electronic parking brake, pull up to engage, hit the brake, press down to disengage. Automatic brake holds there. Full 4-wheel drive system at all times, so you're either in 4-wheel high or you're in low. So most of the times that switch will be up there, and then your center differential lock is there. Wireless charging pad is here. The center console cubby space, a decent size actually. And then up here, there are your lights. You can tilt or slide the sunroof back here. And then this is soft touch as well. So that's one touch to slide that back. Hit it a second time, it goes all the way behind the shade there. View of the back from up here. And then vanity mirror right there. And back to the steering wheel itself is blinkers, high beams, flash, your fog light controls, and then your actual headlamp controls are there. And then over here you have your automatic wipers, one time off, auto, low, high. You can adjust that auto sensitivity here, and then your rear wiper right there. And again, if you hit that in the back, that does the rear wiper and the rear camera. And then you just pull up here for the front wiper fluid. Volume controls here. And then this right here adjusts your gauge cluster, these 4 arrows in this back button. So you can go through all of the options that you have there. A lot that you can actually customize here, and then you can hold the OK button to customize what you want to see and what you want to have in certain areas of the gauge cluster. So I like that quite a bit. How you're able to like control everything, change everything. And then over here, go through your audio sources, track list, radio station presets can be adjusted there. And then we do have the adaptive cruise with the lane centering, so you just activate that. You can change the modes of the cruise there and then adjust the gap right there. Quick look at the gauge, or at the heads-up display, excuse me, right in there. Push button start. Finally, here's your key fob, and this one does have the cover on it. But next, let's go ahead and take this 2025 Lexus GX 550 out on the road for a test drive. So starting the test drive in this GX 550 here, ride quality is actually pretty decent. They're tearing up this road I'm on right now, and it actually absorbed those bumps very nicely because they are very rough. They need to fix this quickly, but anyways, really like the interior, and I've kind of touched on that earlier in the walk around portion, but it's just so nice in here. Everything feels premium and subtle, and that's what most people want from a Lexus. They don't want anything flashy. They're not necessarily looking for a BMW or an Audi. They want something that is, again, subtle, luxurious, rides well, easy to drive, and that's what you get here with this GX 550. And just having the driving support system that Toyota has implemented in many of their vehicles just makes it that much easier to drive this thing down the road at any given time. So I can just throw this on at any moment, and we get the lane centering, we get the adaptive cruise and all of that. I guess the monitor can't see my face, but so yeah, doing a great job staying in the lines, even on this city road here. It's not what this is meant for, but it's nice that it actually works pretty well in this scenario. But yeah, the ride is just so great. Very impressed. I'm gonna give myself a little space and see if I can push this thing real quick. It's only got 78 miles, so I'm gonna give it a little bit, but not too much. Let's put it into sport mode. Nobody's behind me, so I won't come to a complete stop, but I'm gonna slow down just a tad. Here we go. So very quick, and the sounds are actually very nice. Very sporty sound there coming from the engine, the exhaust, and all of that. So very impressed overall. So we have the driving support system on once again. for the interstate, which is mainly what this is for, and you're still supposed to keep your hands on the wheel. But I just like this because it makes the longer road trips a bit more tolerable. For whatever reason you do need to take your hands off the wheel and scratch or something like that. Not supposed to do anything else. You're really not supposed to do that, but it's good for that, where you can still keep your eyes on the road and you might just need to move something or change the station or cut the AC down, whatever it is. Just a very nice driving support system from Toyota here. And I do want to give one more huge thanks to Auto Collection of Murfreesboro and Auto Pro of Nashville for allowing me to review this GX 550 today. I will leave a link below in the description. This one only has about 80 miles on it, and it's priced under $90,000. But if you're looking to find the best price on a new one, closer to home, click on that second link down below. It takes just a minute to fill out your information, and then I'll get the local dealers fighting to get you the best price on this or whatever new vehicle you might be interested in. Now, from a driver standpoint, I like how sporty this feels. It doesn't feel like an LX. It doesn't feel like a boat. It still rides well, but it does give you that more of a GX that you're used to, if that makes sense. Very off-road capable, very fun to drive, very, you know, the turning radius feels good and all that. So I have the vehicle back in normal mode now. You do get that option for an eco mode, but eco mode for me, I mostly use on longer road trips and things of that nature, where I'm not going to be doing a lot of downshifting, upshifting. It just kind of keeps everything going smoothly. Now, I do think these are quite hefty right now in terms of their price point, just because this vehicle in particular, as nice as it is, I mean, it looks fantastic, and as luxurious as the interior is, from a usability standpoint, I'd rather go with an Escalade or something like that for the money, just because it's sorry, I had a little craziness going on there. I'd rather go with this because, or I'd rather go with the Escalade because from a usability standpoint, it's easy to get to the second row. I feel like the interior kind of gives you that more of a flashy sense of luxury as opposed to this subtle sense of luxury. From a reliability standpoint, it's hard to really tell. I've heard issues with both this 3.4 twin turbo in the Tundra and then the 6.2 liter V8s just overall, with lifters and the engine's just kind of crapping out. But I do feel, fancier behind this thing. I feel like, if you've seen those memes where they're comparing billionaires to millionaires or whatever, I feel like a billionaire behind this as opposed to a millionaire that's flashy behind the steering wheel of the Escalade. But I'd still prefer the Escalade just because I just kind of like everything that kind of entails when you're getting something like that. Now, obviously, a lot of people in this segment just like the looks of the Lexus. They like the usability of the Lexus. They want something that's got everything: ride quality, off-road capability, and power. And that's really what you get here. But with all that being said, this will bring me to the end of my review of this 2025 Lexus GX 550.